First of all, I want to inform you that this workshop will be recorded, and all of your voices and audios that you raise up your hand and say something will be coming up in the video, and we'll be sharing that video with you as well so you can have a look later on. The questions and the answers will not be visible on the video if they are on the chat. All right. So I hope that's okay with everyone, and then we'll start. Melo, please give a heads up when we can start. Yeah. Thank you, Melo. So yeah, good morning here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Shweta Patel, a psychologist at Mind Tribe, specializing with different concerns, and also these concerns can often arise from bullying, as well as what we went through in a childhood, or maybe in what we are going through it right now. So today we'll be discussing various topics of bullying, its different types, its genres, and how it impacts us, how it shows in our behavior, and what we can do to um, solve it and work on it. Okay. So with me, I have Nafia, who will be, letting people in and maintaining the decorum, and she'll stop letting people in till 10:10. So if there's any friend of yours, if you want to inform them, so they can join in, we'll stop the entries. Okay, Nafia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nafia, and I'm a counselor at Mind Tribe. I will be co hosting along with Shweta today.
All right, thank you, Nafia. All right, so let's dive into the topic now, impacts of bullying. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. If I'm not able to see the screen, just type it in the chat box and we'll take it up in the end. All right. So, impacts of bullying. Okay, let's do a quiz first. You have to just answer yes and no on the basis of these questions. So, do you feel isolated in the workplace, even with friends, group, or any other setting? Yes or no? Okay, Disha says no. Please, we'll take up all these questions at the end. We'll not disturb the recording that's going on. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yona says yes. Anything? Yes. Okay. Bhargavi says yes. Please keep on writing your answers. Sometimes yes. Okay. No. All right. Let's move to another question. Are you name called or had felt insulting by the name? Always. Okay. Yona says no. Bhavani says no. Nisha, no. Okay, okay. Thank you for being so interactive. Yes, every now and then. Yes, okay, yes, all right. The next question is: do you think people are making you feel weak or by hitting you or putting you down in some way? Do you feel sometimes? Okay, yes, yes, all right, okay, okay, yes, okay. Sometimes. Okay, thank you everyone for answering, and I'm glad you are here today. So you'll get to know a lot about yourself. Okay, last question is: do you think you are always the scapegoat in the group? If you know what scapegoat means, is like you are always that person who is targeted, or always name called or something like that. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. Yes. No. So all of you are interactive. That's great. And let's see what we understand today with bullying. Okay. So what is basically bullying? Okay. So here it is written, bullying implies an intention to harm, intimidate, or coerce an act when there is an imbalance of power and the act cause is a distress and provocation. So basically, where someone intentionally or constantly causes another person injury or discomfort, whether it's physical health or whether that's their power, they to gain popularity maybe or to uh, control them. Okay, on bully can happen anywhere in the school, workplaces, homes, and online. Okay, and this is a very serious issue. Bullying is a very serious issue because it has a long term psychological effects on the people who are bullied. It can be anxiety, depression, and low self esteem. There are major side effects that bullying can have, and people basically try to uh, use their power on someone who is, try to characterize by the imbalance of power, and they use physical strength or also verbal and name calling, all these things that we talked about in the questions as well. Was there something? Okay, no. So I hope you understand what bullying is. Basically an imbalance of power where they people try to control you, okay, and harm you. Okay, let's talk about now types of bullying. First is physical. Okay, physical bullying involves someone who may be harming physically, like bodies. They're harming their body. Okay, they're pushing, kicking, hitting, or breaking someone's belongings. Or if they have something they love, they are just breaking it and spoiling it, hiding it with them. And physical bullying is the easiest to recognize because we can see it happening. Okay. Next is verbal. Verbal mostly includes writing mean things about people, okay, teasing people, calling them with inappropriate names, okay, and also sexual comments and threatening them to cause harm, okay. Although this verbal bullying doesn't leave any scars like physical bullying, but it again has a deeply effect on a person's emotional well-being. All right. Uh, are there people raising hand, Nafia?
No, Shweta, you're just coming in.
Okay, so verbal, physical, verbal, and third is social. Okay, social bullying is basically where this is a relational bullying where this involves hurting someone's reputation or relationships. These can include rumors, okay, embarrassment in public, okay, or deliberately excluding them from a group or not including them in your plans, or telling them that she's not like that and we should not include her, okay, and basically carrying all these in a public and where you feel embarrassed, and these are often carried out behind the victim's back, so they don't know what is happening. Okay. Now, bullying is direct, indirect. Okay. So, what is a direct bullying? Okay, direct is a face to face bullying, okay, where it happens face to face, where the aggressor directly interacts with the victim who's actually bullying. They directly interacts. In this, we include physical and verbal work, like harassment, direct is harassment, physical abuse that we talked about, and pranks, threats, and throwing things and calling them names. So this is all direct bullying. Okay, now coming up to indirect bullying. This often is less obvious, but involving harm with someone's social relationships and reputation, often pulling them down in front of others without direct confrontation, by doing it behind the back. Okay, so social bullying that we talked about is a example of indirect bullying. So cyber bullying that happened in online, who are bullied online or who are actually uh, then there are rumors, then private information that has been shared through private cyberbullying also that happens, that involves in indirect bullying. So I hope this slide makes sense. So there are two types of bullying, direct and indirect, and direct that happens face to face, indirect that doesn't happen face to face but also have major impact. All right. So let's move on. Who is involved? Who are people involved in these bullying? Okay. So bully, a person who harasses, abuses, intimidates, or coerces people, especially those with less power than they have. Okay, so these people who are bullying someone, they will harass you, abuse you, and they will try to, put you under you. So you, and then they don't have that power to do that. So that they have less power and they are trying to control you and trying to show you that they are bigger than you. Okay, so those are bullies. And what are bully victims? Bully victims are kids who have not only been targeted by bullies but have also bullied others. Okay, so these are somebody who are bullied, maybe in their childhood, but they are also bullying others. So these are called bully victims. Okay, let's play a quiz now, or of what we talked about in the last 4 to 5 slides. Okay, what type of bullying includes mobile, computers, and etc. Basically online. So cyberbullying, physical bullying, or verbal bullying. Okay, cyber. Yes, this is cyberbullying. Correct answer. Next is Amanda says people have been hitting her and throwing stuff at her. What type of bullying is this called? Physical, verbal, homophobic. Physical. Millie says yes, right. That's that's correct. Physical bullying. Okay, now third question. Stanley is having fun with his friends, but at times he's being name called by every person and he's like feels like a scapegoat in this group. Is this bullying or it is just a way of their having fun? Bullying, yes or no bullying? Okay, yes. Yes, that's the correct answer because Stanley is again feeling that he is just a scapegoat in the group and everyone is, they keep on making fun of him every time. Right. Thank you. Thank you for answering, everyone. Different genres of bullying. Okay. So now what are basically different types of bullying where people, it's not just that happens in school, it is where there are different genres that bullying keeps on occurring. Okay, peer, parent, sibling, workplace, cyber. Okay, and we'll discuss all these in details. Okay, so what is a peer bullying? Basically this occurs when individuals of similar age or status like classmates or teammates or maybe friends uh, bully you, or this can happen in sports teams, schools, or social gatherings, social groups. If you have a small group where you are like always a scapegoat. So peer bullying of same age groups and status where the friends or peers and classmates bully you. Okay, parent bullying. Okay, this happens when parent uses their power to intimidate or control their children through fear, maybe through verbal threats or maybe physical punishments. And this is harmful and it can severely affect the child development and mental health. Okay, so parent basically also control their children, and this is a type of bullying through maybe verbal threats or physical punishments. Okay, sibling bullying. Often this is overlooked, but this form of bullying happens between siblings. This can include physical violence, verbal abuse, or manipulation. They manipulate in having what they want. And this also can have long lasting effects on your mental health. Workplace bullying. And workplace bullying also doesn't stop in childhood, it carries on, it goes in the workplace. And you're also harassed, employee to boss harassment, boss to employee, employee to employee. Examples can include in workplace can be include unfair criticism, exclusion from projects, spreading rumors about you. And the toxic environment that has been created is called a bullying, where you are bullied into doing uh, own something for someone who has power over you, or they take that power over you and they bully you. It's cyberbullying. This often is happen online, okay, like social media, through texting, websites. People harass you, threaten you, and humiliate. It's damaging, and people can, again have effects on mental health, and this can happen 24 into 7 because there's a wide audience and they are always available somebody on social media. So there is people always doing something and bullying someone. Okay, I hope this makes sense. If there are any questions regarding all these types of bullying, you can please raise your hand and ask me. All right, so I'll take that as a no and move forward. Now, act out of behavior. Now we have discussed what bullying is and what its various types, what are its contexts, and how it affects you. Okay, now it's important to understand how people might respond to being bullied. Okay, those who are actually being bullied, how they respond to it. Their response can be complex, varied, and uh, this happens in many form of behavior. How your behavior now plays out when you are bullied. Okay, first is substance abuse. Okay, many people, and mostly people who are bullied, they tend to avoid, or they are, when they don't want to face the world or something of that sort, they avoid that pain and cope with that pain of or feelings of helplessness and worthlessness. They avoid this pain by using alcohol, or maybe they go on self medication where this things is just avoided, or they can be use of drugs. Okay, so these are the ways people use to avoid being bullied, and they get engaged in substance abuse that is very harmful. It can have long lasting effects on relationships, your relationship with your friends and your workplace, anything that is related to you. So substance abuse is one act out of behavior that happens when you are bullied. The next is avoidance. Okay, avoidance can happen at many places. It can be school avoidance. You can skip schools classes, avoid encountering bullies. You just don't want to see their face, so you keep on avoiding them. This can lead to academic problems, increased isolation, and severe mental health issues. Also loneliness can lead to long term loneliness. Okay, this can avoidance can also become in social withdrawal, where you withdraw social activities, going out with your friends, doing activities that makes you happy, going out with your family, because you don't want to feel ashamed or embarrassed in front of them, and you isolate going out. Okay, okay. Bullying behavior emerges after being repeatedly bullied, so since many times, likely in attempt to regain a sense of power. Again, if you are bullied, some people again converts them into a bully person, where they want to regain that sense of power that they had lost before, and they turn themselves into a bully person. Okay, again, to get that sense of power, or feel okay. Can bullying can also have one major effect that is not in the slide, but anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression is often the most common, where if you're being bullied repeatedly, it can be anxious. You're always worried that what will happen next, and how will I survive now the next situation. And depression, constant sadness about what has happened to you, always dwelling about the in the past, that this has happened to me, now what I'm doing. Okay, so anxiety and depression, one of the most common things that happen in people who are bullied. All right, so we talked about three or four which people can have effect on when they're bullied. Now let's move to a case study related to what we talked about. Okay, Sarah, who is a 18-year-old girl, she has reported cyberbullying to the school counselor. She had sent some dirty photos to her 21-year-old boyfriend through Snapchat. He has shown the photos to his friends, and the boys are making fun of her. They are calling her names as she walks by them in this hallway. She has also received 13 Snapchat requests, naked pictures of her. What do you think can have effect on Sarah of what she was trying to do and what has happened to her? What can major effects that she can have, or what her behavior will be? Yes, do we go ahead?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So, according to me, Sarah can face bullying
Yeah,
and she will she will feel depression
mm-hmm.
and she will not be able to face people.
Right.
I mean, uh, she can go through social anxiety, and if and now many people will look at her in a very different type of uh, you can say
Right.
in a very different type of way and yes, that's what I think.
Yes, you are totally correct. People will treat her differently. They will, name call her, and they will avoid her, and that will have impact on her self-esteem, her relationships, and everything around her. All right. So some people have written correctly: betrayal, trust issues, self-harm. Yes, that's correct. Sneha has written trust issues, ashamed, isolation. Okay. Divyanshi has written she will die. Okay. All right. Tanisha has written trust issues. Yes, all these effect can be they can have on her, and that can lead to her. If she was a all bubbly, chubbly girl, her personality would change when just this message that her intention was not to do the same. Okay. Next case study, Vishaka, who has moved to a new high school in November. During her first week, she meets Bertha in cafeteria. Bertha, who can be a bully, insults her, criticizing Vishaka's choice of clothes, hairstyle, appearance, and everything. Bertha encourages her friends to echo these comments, I mean, spread these comments to everyone. And Vishaka then begins to avoid the cafeteria and tells her mother about Bertha, but does not complain to school staff. Okay, now what effects can Vishaka can go through? Yes, go ahead, Harnisha.
Good morning, ma'am. So Vishaka will face school avoidance. She will try to avoid going to school. She will have confidence issues. She will have trust issues, and she will be withdrawn. Her personality will be of one. Her personality will change into somebody who is uh, withdrawn, and she will not be able to. Her social skills will be impacted because of this.
Right, totally. Yes, you are correct. And all these social skills and avoiding schools, avoiding friends, and also not being able to trust friends. Okay, she'll not be able to trust her friend as well. That's right. Thank you for answering, Anisha. So, yes, everyone has written their side in the chat box, and all of you are correct. All of you. Parmila, Gunjan, everyone, you have written its correct answer. She will face all these issues because what has happened to her. All right. Why bullying is often not reported. Okay. Okay. Basically, bullying is not reported because people fail to recognize that this is bullying, or they just don't they just don't want to tell people that they have gone through some of these issues. All right. uh, s- Basically they normalize these aggressive behavior and making the difficult for the victims and bystanders to identify and label these actions as bullying. All right. So basically these form it's often recognize failure to recognize bullying because this makes it these forms of bullying makes it difficult for the victims and who are going through what bullying and everything. uh, they often it's difficult for them to identify and label these actions as bullying. All right. So shame and embarrassment, of course, people will face this because they internalize this negative message for themselves that they receive from bullies. If they are saying that you are this type of person, so they believe it, they internalize that voice in them, and they feel that yeah, they are them, that's why people are calling, and they try to make it true, so they kind of self blame them, and again that's why it's not reported. And basically self shame and embarrassment comes in where you don't want to say another person that yeah, I'm going through, I am put in under someone, or they have been doing this to me, so you feel a shame or an embarrassment, and that's why again this is not reported. Desire for acceptance. Okay. So basically, when you want to be accepted in the society, where you want to, be felt that, yeah, I am part of this group, or I want to be this group, or if I tell them that this is how they are treating me, then uh, the other person will think that I am not part of this group. So you always have that sense of acceptance that maybe I am not accepted there and I will be accepted here, whatever they are doing to me. And again, this can have a major effect on you emotionally, mentally, and everywhere you feel that you are not accepted, or maybe where they are treating you badly, you feel that this is where I'm accepted, maybe somewhere else I won't be. Okay. And you worry about snitching. Fear of being labeled as a snitch. Okay. uh, Snitch is basically a word which tells you where, that if you tell them you will be a snitch, or you will be a smaller person, or you are that, you are weak, and you've told. So there is a lot of peer pressure, retaliation, and of course distrust of authorities that led to you thinking that maybe what if I call snitch. Okay. So you fear of losing friendships and you don't report it. Okay. And then and you think that the bullies will again more retaliate about it and they make the situation worse, I will go through a horrible time. And again, distrust of authorities, feeling that reporting bully will not lead to a meaningful change, nothing will happen, nobody will be able to stop the bullying, so people uh, don't report it. Okay. So to feel and to feel better and not feel that bullying is just a thing that is not going to be reported and there's nothing going to happen. You have to create that safe space for you. You have to create a meaningful uh, dialogue within you, that you know you are not that person and you have that sense of responsibility to say it aloud. And that's how you stop that bullying, actually, by reporting it. All right, so now let's do an activity. It's an interesting activity where all your senses will be activated, and all the things that we have discussed will be, maybe can be more or overwhelming for some of you. So let's do an activity. So you have to notice five things you can hear, okay, and you can just say it in aloud for yourself. Five things you are hearing nearby. Anything. It's the voice of the fan. Okay. It's the cars. Okay. Anything. Five things you have to name it. I hope you are doing this activity. This is very good and it will help you relax. And then four things in yellow color you see around you, or maybe not yellow particularly, any color you are seeing around you. Maybe green, white, orange, silver. Okay, so four things you see around you. Okay, anything in color. Next step, three things you can feel around you. Feel is basically you're touching it. So maybe a chair, table, or maybe a pillow. All right, so three things you can feel. I hope this activity. Two things you can smell. Maybe smell of the coffee or smell of the food being made at your home. Anything. And one thing you can taste. Anything you are tasting right now, or there's a taste in your, uh, you want to eat something sweet, to taste that, try to taste that in your mouth. This is a very good relaxation exercise to, activate all your senses and get in touch with the present moment and be grounded here. Okay, so if you can all give a thumbs up to me, I can move forward, or you can take your time. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. Yeah, so what impacts does now bullying have on us? Okay, how these things are later on in our life affects us when we move forward, when we grew up. Okay, and this has happened in school, or maybe this has happened in the previous workplace, or maybe this is happening right now. Okay, how this impacts us. Poor academic performance. Okay, you keep on uh, downgrading your grades, or not being able to focus at your studies, not being able to concentrate on them because you're constantly worried about that. Students who are repetitively bullied often struggle with self-esteem, anxiety, and and when the bullying is about your height, skin color, physical attribute, it even gets worse. You don't love yourself enough, and then you don't recognize yourself as you, and that impacts your self-esteem, and you're always feeling that I am not enough, I am not doing good enough, and that is again affecting your mental health. Depression. Depression can often result from bullying and its extreme circumstances. It can lead to suicide as well. Okay, when you are not able to stop these thoughts and not able to, put them in a right way, or there are constant sadness for some weeks that you keep on feeling, and then there's depression. You worry. Anxiety is basically worrying about what has happened and what will happen. It will uh, impact every aspect of your life, be it your relationship. You're even going out for something, for a walk, so you're always feeling lonely, anxious, what will happen, vulnerable, isolated. Okay, and these are also long lasting effects. Okay, suicidal ideation. Okay, when child is bullied, it becomes overwhelming for them to survive in this torturous situation, so some people end it, some people take that route. Okay, so to stop these thoughts, or maybe to stop these bullying. Okay, depression, feeling of loneliness, sadness, loss of interest, low self can confidence overcome them. Okay, so when we are going all through all these things, loneliness, everything, and we think that there's no meaning in life, there's no happiness, I won't be able to get happy, this will keep on happening, so I should end it. Okay, so they blame themselves for every bad thing that happens around them, that they think life is not worth living. Like I said, they internalize this dialogue, they uh, make this inner critic for themselves, inner voice that keeps on telling them you are not good enough. Okay, you are not doing it right, but this is just a voice that has come up from your experience, that is trying to destroy you maybe, or think you in a way that you are not worth it, and that leads to social ideation. Okay, let's do uh, movie. Can I get back to you uh, at the end, please? And because we have discussed again the impact as very overwhelming and heavy topic, so let's do a breathing exercise. If you are all okay, okay. So you have to basically hold your breath. Okay, first you have to sit in a comfortable position. I hope you everyone is doing that. Please give a thumbs up to me. If you can do it, it will be, yes. Thank you so much. It will be great if you do it, because it will help you relax. Such a heavy topic we have did. So sit in a comfortable position. Slowly close your eyes, and you have to breathe in for 4 seconds. Hold it for 4 seconds, and again breathe out for 4 seconds. Again inhaling it for 4 seconds, holding it, breathing it out. Again, one last time, breathing in, holding it, breathing it out. And you can slowly open your eyes. Okay, thank you everyone who did this activity. It actually relaxes you. This activity is called box breathing. Thank you, Ranjan, for giving a clap. Okay, so this activity is called box breathing. That's why it happens in 4 4 4 seconds, and very relaxing. Keeps you grounded, keeps you in touch with your body. Okay, something that maybe your day was not good, you can try this exercise, or maybe you want to make your day better by not thinking about all these thoughts, you can do this exercise. All right. All right, let's move on. Okay, so this is again a symptom of what we talked about. This is basically you are socially shy always and you avoid situations. Then relationship issues. We can have trust issues in relationships. We don't trust the other person that whatever they are telling us or whatever they are sharing with us is it's truth, and that affects our relationship in many ways. We become dependent on the person we are with. Okay, so basically inclined towards them, doing everything for them, and then again that affects our self-esteem. Okay, and then you create that insecure attachment in relationships. Okay, so you are always insecure about the person or insecure about yourself or this relationship, and it has major effects on you, and maybe your relationship will not um last or have a healthy bond between the two because of all these issues that you've been. Also relationship issues can have people pleasing behavior. You please the other person to stay or to keep on saying sorry, and or like we say manana padta hai pure time. So people pleasing behavior can also be resulted in relationships. Okay, PTSD. PTSD is basically a disorder where it is post traumatic stress disorder, where you are constantly worrying of what has happened, what has been done, what you think the next attack would be, and you come in a state of feeling of helplessness and you don't know what to do. So you have this stress or trauma from what has happened, or you keep on thinking about it. Okay, so again a case study. You will answer this question because we have studied a lot about all these things. So Sanjay is a 12-year-old boy. He's in 7th grade. He constantly is teased by school friends on his complexion. He was called by different names and also treated differently. Kids were calling him naughty for this behavior and was ignored by the authority in the school. Okay, he was always alone in the classroom since nobody wanted to sit with him. His attendance was low by the end of the year, and his academic performance was also affected. Sanjay, who is only a 12-year-old boy, is in 7th grade, and everything around him is affected now. And these affections have major effects in the adulthood or maybe relationships or with himself. Okay, so what do you think? Uh, like here also the present issue is mentioned. There are no authority. They are ignoring it. Okay, his academic performance is affected. Okay, nobody wants to sit with him, so avoidance happening. So what do you think the future outcome of Sanjay would be? What he would be feeling in the future? What type of things he would be? Anything? Anyone in the chat? Yes, somebody. Mic is on.
Self doubt and low confidence.
Yes, definitely correct. Thank you. Yes, he will be isolated. Yes, very good answer. Anger issues. All these anger issues come. Anger is an emotion that is very strong. Okay, and when all of these things are stuffed inside you, when you're not able to talk about it, this comes in a form of anger. So thank you for answering, Gunjan. Isolated, they isolate them with other people. They have, like we discussed in the relationship, if they have a relationship, all these things come in. They have major confidence issues. They are not confident in front of the people. Okay, that's that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, now basically how do we cope with what has happened to us, or what we know that now we know that this is recognized, we are aware of it, okay, that this has happened to us, and now what do we do about it, how to cope about it. Some people is just ignored it, and they just put it off, like it will happen, let's ignore it and things will change. But no, until unless you don't deal with it, until unless you don't cope or make peace with the trauma, that doesn't go away. It keeps on coming back, it keeps on haunting you in some way. Okay, so let's discuss some of the strategies. Okay, self acceptance. Okay, major thing in that comes is self acceptance. Is basically you have to recognize and embrace who you are. Anything that makes you different, any even a mole on the face, whatever, find it out, and what makes you different, you have to live with it, okay, and you have to embrace that yeah, this is what makes me different. Okay, you have to understand your worth, that what you are is only what you are. There's no one who can have all these things that are inside you. Okay, you have to understand your worth, you have to embrace you who you are, you have to forgive yourself. Yeah, that I have gone through a lot of things in my life, now I have to let go of all these things and make in make myself love more. Okay, like you would do to a friend. Okay, how would you talk to your friend, that how are you, what has been up to now, what are you doing. So how would you talk to yourself? You will talk harshly? No, we don't have to. You have to forgive yourself, that you have gone through a major life issue, and now you can move forward. You are stronger than ever, so you have to keep on forgiving yourself. Okay, and remember, developing self acceptance is not, that doesn't happen very fast, it happens gradually, and it's a slow process. But if you develop self acceptance, there are things that can be resolved everywhere, like we talked about relationships, academically, you do better, you are not again bullied because you know your worth. All right, so self acceptance is one thing. Second is positive self talk. Positive self talk is basically people misinterpret it with affirmations. So this is basically talking positively to yourself. Normal conversation like two people can have. Okay, if I am talking to myself, yeah, I am stronger. So this is an affirmation. So I have gone through a lot. I have been a strong person, and I can work on myself. Whatever happens has happened in the past has made me stronger. Okay, so this is an example of positive self-talk. Okay, this is where I talked about inner critic, where the voice came in, where it is say telling you to you're not good enough. You have to replace that voice to a positive voice. Okay, that you can do it. People make mistakes, people move on. This voice, you have to challenge that negative thought that is coming inside you again and again. You have to, for example, if the thought is I am worthless, I am not good enough, you have to replace it with I have many strengths that people does not have, and some people are there to care about me. Okay, so you have to challenge that negative thought. Until unless you don't challenge it and it lets you get over you, the thought will never pass. Okay, so you have to challenge that thought. Of course, positive self talk may, you can use your mindset a little bit to shift differently by using that I am strong, I'm capable, I deserve respect, I deserve things that are good for me, I deserve good relationships. Okay, so basically always considering yourself positively. Okay, next is building resilience. Okay, uh, resilience, I hope if you don't know, resilience is basically how you bounce back from whatever has happened to you. If you are bouncing back from adversity and challenges that has come. You're building a good resilience inside you, and then you know how to relax. Okay, then you know how to do things. You know how the other situation that comes up, how will I react to it. Okay, so what you have to do, you can develop coping skills. Okay, coping skills like what has happened and worked for you, not avoiding, not replacing it with social media or comparing. Basically good coping mechanism like talking to your friend or maybe going for a walk. Okay, relaxing, creating that thought awareness ki, yeah, this thought that is coming inside me is making me feel miserable. So getting aware or practicing that thought that, yeah, this thought is destroying me. Okay, and of course learning from your past mistake, maybe where I have gone wrong and what I did wrong, so you can learn from that. Alright. So always, again, building resilience takes time, effort, and but it can lead to a greater emotional strength, and of course ability to handle everything effectively. Then next will be improving self-esteem. Again, all these case studies that we talked about, everyone had a major impact on self-esteem. Everyone has it actually. Okay, so you have to treat yourself well. You have to treat yourself like you are a trophy for yourself. Okay, how you keep a trophy. Okay, you have to celebrate your goals. Okay, that you have achieved something. Okay, and for future you have to set small realistic goals that you can achieve in the week maybe or in a month. Okay, engage in activities that you enjoy. Okay, something like making art or coloring or going dancing, going out, dressing up your hair, anything, any activity that you enjoy, you have to keep on doing that. So you again develop that thing that yes, I am worth something, I am, and that inner voice is again replaced. Okay, next is behavior activation. Behavioral activation is basically engage in activities that are aligned with your values and your interest to again deal with negative and inactivity that has happened. Okay, so you have to behaviorally engage in some of the things that are aligning with your values. You have to find out what my values are, what I have been brought up to like, and is this thing that is I am that whatever I'm doing is aligning with my values. Should I stop doing that? You think about it and take that step for yourself. Okay, behavioral activation can be staying active. You have to engage in physical activity, going on regular walks, or maybe doing a yoga or a 30-minute walk every day can make a significant difference. Okay, again, enjoyable activities, anything that you like, even rock climbing, going on adventurous trip. Okay, talking to a friend, talking about what is wrong with you. Okay, and these taking these steps, proactive steps, can improve your mood overall and well-being, and you can come out stronger. Mindfulness is basically being aware of the present moment wherever you are, like you are here today for yourself. So you are basically present in this moment. Are these thoughts constantly keep on rushing through your mind right now as well? Then you are not mindful. Okay, you have to learn to be mindful wherever you are. You can do mindful breathing. Okay, so where we did box breathing exercise, you have to just focus on your breathing. So that can be called in mindfulness breathing. And mindfulness activities, basically again this the activity that we did, 5 4 3 2 1, that is a mindful activity that you keeps you grounded and in touch with yourself. Even the small activities like eating food, how are you chewing it, how is it feeling inside your mouth. Okay, this is basically what being mindful is. Joining a support group. Okay, like you're here today, many people of you have gone through something, and it can be so difficult to be like that and have dealt with it. So, uh, joining group therapies, joining workshops, joining people who have gone through the same thing. This will, if this will benefit encouragement. You will learn more coping. You will be uh, with them where they are sharing their experiences, and hearing the similar experience that they have gone through will will make you feel less alone about whatever you're going through. Okay. And of course, seeking therapy will help you a lot. It will change the perception about the world, how you see the world, how this has affect you, how you can make peace with it, how you can develop good coping mechanisms for you, how you can create healthy relationships with yourself, your parents, your boyfriend, girlfriend, and everyone around you, how you see the world differently. So, seeking therapy is a one tool that is also self care, that is also a different perception, that is also making peace with your trauma or what has happened. So it is very important to seek therapy, and if you know you want to, you can also reach out to me or Nafia. We'll share the links later on. All right. So that is there. Yeah, and that's all for today. I hope that was not very big or too much information to you for you to gather. I compiled it in a very small way, and I hope it has benefited you. And yes, questions can go ahead. Gunjan, uh, if someone, Gunjan raise a hand. Thank you, Parmila, for giving a heart. Of course, I also want to give my heart to everyone who has shared and who's here for yourself today. Thanks for being so interactive and learning something today, new today. So this is also first step to learning. Thank you for the good feedback. Super good workshop. Thank you. Okay, somebody did it. So I have a question. I want to know if we do a session anonymously. Yes, Bhuvi, you can connect with me. My number is on the group. You can just leave a text and I'll let you know the details. Okay. So just leave a text to me or whoever. Are there any questions in the chat, Nafia, that I should answer?
There are no questions, Shweta.
Okay, thank you. And there's some great session, but would have liked a little more depth in some of the topics like types of bullying and so on. Yes, thank you, Ranjan, for the feedback. To answering your question, we had to keep the workshop in 1 hour session because everyone cannot take more time. And so I have compiled it. If you want to know more, you can always reach out and I'll share the resources if I can. Okay. Thank you for this opportunity, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, all sessions are confidential. Thank you, Nafia, for pointing it out. Yes, Gunjan, go ahead.
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
So there is this question when you were talking about, embracing yourself, like,
Right.
especially with students with like, having gone through bullying. So there were like a student, like when you talked to her about like, embracing herself. Then later on, what she started doing was, saying that, this is me, I can't do anything, like anything in itself. This is not my
Mm-hmm.
fault, this is like this, I'm like this only. So embracing, but it took like, it kind of went too far. She started being like, I can't do anything, it's not my fault, and I'm like this only. So what do you do with that then?
Mm-hmm. So, are you talking about the slide where it was a self acceptance?
Yeah, something like, yeah, you were talking, yeah, there only.
Let's me just put that slide and
How to cope in that part.
yeah. Yes, this slide.
Yeah.
So first, you read this on yourself. Self-acceptance is what its name suggests, the state of complete acceptance of oneself. True self-acceptance is embracing who you are, without any qualifications, condition, or exception. So basically, not you are not basically filtering out what the society is saying, what they are trying to make you believe that this is not good. Is it something that you like? That is basically accepting yourself. uh, I hope this definition makes sense.
Yes, yeah, it makes sense to me, but what do we do when, like, someone has taken that part about self-embracing too far and starts blaming other people, like, that, okay, I am like this only, I can't do anything if you don't like this way of mine.
Right.
So
Okay.
that is not right, also.
Right, I understand. So you basically you're saying that embracing oneself, but again blaming others that they have done something, right?
Yeah, blaming someone that, if you don't, like, for example, if you don't like this, I can't do anything about it because I'm like this only. So, how do you tell that this is also not right?
Mhm. Basically, when you create that acceptance within yourself, when you know that this has acceptance, whatever people have done or some particular people you're pointing out, then you have not forgiven them. Okay, then you have that hurt or resentment against them, and that's why you feel about like that they blame when you blame them and when you're hurt and when there is anger against them. Okay, so all
Mm-hmm.
these feelings, when these feelings are then you have not forgiven them. When you don't forgive them, you don't create again a healthy bond with yourself, because those feelings keeps on arising. It's not difficult for the other person, but it's difficult for you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gunjan. Also, sorry, the session ended. So if you don't want to stay with the for the questions, you can leave. And everyone for the great feedback. I love it, and thank you for participating. Who wants to stay for the questions? They can. Yes, Tanisha, go ahead. Hello, am I audible?
Basically, I wanted to know what is the difference between bullying and abusing.
Sorry, I am not able to.
Yes, you are audible to me. Hello, can you hear me?
I
Hello.
can't. I can't hear you properly, Tanisha. Is there someone else who can hear her? Can you put your question in the chat?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yes, thank you. Yes, who was next? Yes, Harnisha, go ahead.
Ma'am, I would like to add on to something what Gunjan ma'am just spoke about.
Yes, yes.
So, I think the client was trying to say something like, my way or the highway. This is how I am, and I will not adjust. And if others can adjust, well and good. Otherwise, this is how it is, right? So, I feel I feel in this kind of a situation, empathy is what is lacking with the client, and probably a little more in-depth discussion as to for him to realize what the situation is like and what others are going through because of this
Mhm,
could probably help the situation.
mhm. Right, right. That's a great point. You have pointed out the right thing, and where they lack empathy and everything. Uh, so you want to add to Gunjan's point, and was there a question?
No, that's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. I hope you gained something from this workshop, and actually it makes sense. Yes. Next was K.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It was super bulb on moments regarding things which has been occurred in the past and which was living in unawareness. My question is like there are many coping mechanisms which you have shown in the slides.
Mm-hmm.
So, what will be the duration for which we should apply, and by what ways we should apply, like one by one, or it's how is what is the actual process so that actually the coping mechanisms comes into effectiveness?
Mm-hmm. Right. So Basically, there's no particular time limit as to when you have to start applying. There's no uh, so when you know that you have today you have attended this workshop and you know how you can cope. So when you start
Yeah.
practicing from today, after
Mm.
15 days you'll start seeing changes in yourself, because it's slow. It doesn't happen in one day, it doesn't happen in one week. It's slow. When you have to constantly keep on trying to do that, and when you're trying to make changes, creating that positive inner voice, that will again, because what you are dealing with is happened from a long time, right? Has happened in
Yeah.
years. Okay, so to replace that, it will take a time. Okay, so it's slow. There's no time limit as to where this ends. When you start your goal, then it's not where you're focused, or it's basically it becomes your habit, and when becomes your habit, it becomes a part of you, and when it's a part of you,
Okay.
you start to cope. Okay, so
One
there.
thing always, one
Mm-hmm.
thing like though, sorry to interrupt. Like
Yes.
one thing, what happens is every time whenever I think I get a memory back of those school days. So what
Mm-hmm.
happens? This a same similar type of trend. What if like I'm disconnected with those schoolmates right now? But what happens is whenever I go to some place or somewhere, what if those people again appear in front and start in the same behavior? What
Mm-hmm.
should be the correct way to cope with at that time? Because these coping mechanisms definitely can be applied when I am alone or when I'm like talking to myself. I can improve on that thing. But in the
Mm-hmm.
social scenario, when those people again appear in those scenarios and they tend to behave in the same way, and even in the new groups, they tend to disturb the things on the basis of the past. I am working on myself. Definitely, I will change. But that thing, how to handle?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of
Right.
reacting, how to give a proper response or to escape from that place or to not to go to such place, even if suppose I'm planning on not going there, but if I go to an unknown place and there suddenly those kind of things appear, then what should I do?
Hmm. Right. This makes sense. I understand that situation can be so difficult to deal with, and when you're faced with the same bullies. Firstly, is basically when you have to understand what are these triggers that will affect you, and are these triggers going to affect in your healing journey? Are these triggers affect you in something that you are building for yourself? Then these triggers will be, you have to learn to deal with these triggers, or maybe when you are faced with it, you will be building resilience or acceptance within you, that maybe when you face them, you will not feel anything again. Okay, because you have worked on yourself, you have accepted the way. Maybe it can trigger some part of you, and that can be written down, or maybe you can journal about it, that this is what has happened today and how you can react to that. It's basically your thoughts, your reaction, your actions that takes a part, how to react to that
Hmm.
situation, right? It's in you, and
Okay.
when you build that slowly, you will know what to do.
It will take time.
Yes, definitely takes time, and therapy helps you with that. Uh, Therapy is a great process to build that coping mechanism if you can't, because slowly you can build that self-acceptance. But when you are continuously doing in some guidance where there's someone to support you, someone to be there for you, and helping you make peace with the trauma, uh, then there's a better version of you unlocked. I hope I make sense.
Okay. And what's the time for the which the therapy should be taken in, like specifically for the purpose of bullying coping mechanisms?
Okay, so basically, this therapy I'll explain you a little bit later. Now, can we take up questions?
Okay.
You can answer question. Yeah. Anyone else? If you like the session, please we'll provide a feedback form. Please give a feedback. It will be a great help. Yes, Tanisha.
Ma'am, I have written the question in the chat box. Can you please answer it?
Yes, sure. Uh, where is Tanisha's question? What is the difference between abusing and bullying? Is that your question? Okay. So basically, abusing is a type of bullying where, uh, where the other person is abusing you, calling you names and using foul languages, where they feel that they are the ones who are in control and they are putting powers on you. And again, there's an imbalance. If there's an imbalance of power, that means they are bullying you through abusing.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Tanisha. Oh, okay. So Gayatri says that socially shy side. Okay, I'll just put it. This one, where is it? No, I almost forgot. Yes, this. Yes, Bhuvi, go ahead.
Ma'am, what can I do about the emotional imbalance? I mean, after the bullying, when
Mm-hmm.
the bullying happens, what can we do about the emotional imbalance?
Okay, where you have gone through emotional trauma, basically, how to deal with that.
Yes.
Okay, so like I've written, like I've shown in the slides, Bhuvi, there are techniques where you can improve upon yourself. There's self acceptance. Of course, you can join support groups who have been through the same thing. You can also talk to someone like a therapist, so you can tell them how you've been feeling and how emotionally this has impacted you. All right, and how you can build coping mechanism to deal with your emotions. Okay, and how your emotions are affecting you in certain situations. Okay, so small things, but stop steps toward just for yourself will make a big difference, even emotional wise.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most fun. Anyone else, or should we wrap up the session? It's beyond time. Yes, yes, go ahead.
Ma'am, last one question, ma'am. If like both kind of bullying has been happened in past, like say name calling and hitting, like physical bullying,
Mm-hmm.
and those people like today also if they come forward and they are into hitting, so can we go for a physical hitting back, or it's like what can be the scenario in those circumstances? Verbal, we can give a response, we can learn the script and try to cope up. But in case of the physical hit, like what should we as a response do?
Okay, so you're asking if somebody is physically bullying you, what should we do?
Yeah, like they have a tendency of like tapping on the back or hitting on the head and talking in that way. So, what should be the response to such kind of situations?
Of course, there will be no correct answer, but you cannot hit back, of course, because that makes you same. Okay, but if you say it politely and put it out there, and if you report it, then something can be done. And if you report it, it gives you a sense of worth that yes, you have done something for yourself, right? So, of course, not hitting back is not the answer. You have to e- either put it politely out there, or you have to report it to some authorities who can take action.
Ma'am, what can be a one word like polite answer for this, if you can suggest?
Like I said, Ki, there are no right answers to it. If you want to discuss some of the concerns, we can take up in therapy, as this session is just about spreading awareness and how to cope.
Okay, okay, thank you, thank
Right?
you,
I hope you.
thank you.
Yes. Anybody else? Melo, did we stop the recording or were the questions going? should we wrap up the session? Thank you for staying back, every 13 of you. I'm glad you're here, and all the questions, everything that you have told me. Actually, I've also learned a lot from you. I hope you have a good day and enjoy. And if you're feeling it, if you're recognizing it, take action. Okay, reach out to someone, reach out to a professional, and I hope you cope with it. That's all from my side.